One of the most interesting building commentaries about this administration right now is not coming from people who normally despise the administration. It's coming from Fox hosts. I'm going to play a couple of clips for you that I think are very interesting because of what they mean about the direction that this administration and maybe the party is even going to have to go as we approach the midterm elections. Let's start with example number one. This is Laura Ingraham. And you and I already know Trump said that the Iran war is over like 9 times and it just keeps going and the ceasefires are total BS and everybody's bombing each other. Trump's redefining ceasefire. It's all complete and total nonsense. Well, what does one of the big supporters of Donald Trump have to say about it on one of the biggest Trump supporting media outlets, Fox News? And she says, well, I don't know that these definitions of ceasefire are really making sense. I mean, if we destroyed their military, how'd they take down an Apache helicopter? Which is a great question that I asked earlier. But this is Laura Ingraham. Take a listen.
To discuss is Nathan Sales, Ambassador at Large and former counterterror coordinator under President Trump. Mr. Ambassador, Iran's foreign minister just posted on X that the U.S. opted to test our determination, leave our region if you want to be safe, and said that Iran's military will hit back. We keep hearing their military is destroyed, obviously, but if their military is destroyed, how are they continuing to hit us? I mean, an Apache helicopter, what, costs about $46 million? Not to speak of the potential injury or loss of life.
Yeah, Iran feels emboldened. They're hitting us because they've used the ceasefire to rebuild their armed forces and to deploy their armed forces in a way that they can use them to hit us.
It's amazing that Iran has an ability like no other just to rebuild everything really fast. Remember, Trump supposedly, when he bombed them in June of 2025, decimated their nuclear program. But then he had to start a war with them at the end of February because I guess they had rebuilt it all, if you believe that crap. And even though their military was destroyed 10 times over, we've destroyed it and again and again and again. According to Nathan Sales, Ambassador at Large, Iran already rebuilt their military. But this morning, Trump said they have no Air Force and they have no Navy. So obviously they're lying. But what's coming through is Ingraham's question. If their military is destroyed, how are they hitting us?
This is the real problem here. When the United States engages in diplomacy, we're most effective when we negotiate from a position of strength with a credible threat of military force. And what the Iranians have seen over the past couple of months is, as you said, patience, which they misinterpret as weakness. And so when CENTCOM says we're going to hit you in a proportional way.
All right. So anyway, this guy is justifying the fact that we're back in the war. We were never really out of it, obviously. But the question from Laura Ingraham is a devastating question. There's this contradiction at the center of Trump's messaging. We're told Iran's been crippled. They have no military. They have no Air Force. They have no Navy. They have nothing. Their shattered military capabilities will not allow them to do anything to us anymore. Victory has been achieved or it's imminent and a deal, and they have no negotiate. They don't have the cards because we've destroyed everything. And then they take down an Apache helicopter, and now we've got to hit them again because they're coming after us hard. Those claims don't really fit together in any coherent way. Either the threat has been neutralized or we haven't neutralized the threat. Either the war is ending or it's growing. It can't be growing and ending at the same time, as Donald Trump likes to say. Well, ceasefire means that there's only some bombing going on. You can't tell people at the same time, we've destroyed our enemy and our enemy just won't stop attacking us and we actually need to scale up our military offensive. That's completely incoherent. Maybe Trump's 9 declarations of victory and copious supposed ceasefires are just kind of BS. Here's Jesse Waters. Again, these are Fox hosts, okay? Jesse oh wait, is this Perino? No, which one is it? Here's Jesse Waters. Here's Jesse Waters saying, according to Trump, we're days away all the time. We've heard that for a long time now. Jesse Waters with a rare moment of clarity.
Puts even more pressure on him and gives us more leverage in those negotiations.
Yeah, the president indicated that he does not want to resume major combat operations. He said if we did do that, you'd have the strait closed for another 2 to 3 to 4 months. And he doesn't want that. And he keeps saying we're very close, we're days away. And I don't know what that means. We've heard that for a very long time.
Correct. You've heard it for a very long time, and it couldn't always have been true.
I mean, oil has gone down. It was closed at, I think, 89 today, but gas prices are very high. And there's a lot of people in the administration, I think, that would like to see the job finished, and others think that, we're pretty close. But what do we know?
That has never stopped us.
Yeah.
Too bad they deem
We've never been dissuaded from giving opinions, even when we don't know anything whatsoever. Hey, quickly, have you been seeing less of me on your YouTube feed? You would not be the first to say so. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube to ensure you don't miss a thing. Back to the clip. Okay, so that's Jesse Waters, and I think that actually may be the most important quote of the entire segment. The central story is we've been days away from the end of this war for months. The war was supposed to last 3 weeks, and for 15 weeks, we've been days away from the end. The deal was days away. The ceasefire was days away. The big breakthrough was days away. Peace was days away. Everything is just days away, and somehow we never get there. And at some point, we're very close is no longer an update. It's just like the slogan of the war. We are very close. We started the war very close to ending it. It's when your contractor says, we need like one more week and the job's going to be done. And then you look around and there's construction dust everywhere. Anyway, it's sort of like that. It's sort of like we're 2 weeks away from our healthcare plan. And that's been the case since July of 2020. They are slowly realizing that Trump is just a pathological liar. That's all there is to it. Dana Perino, number 3, saying it's going to be hard to believe if Trump tells us again that we're almost at a deal. They took down an Apache helicopter. We're bombing them, and Trump's threatening to bomb their power infrastructure. I don't know that people are going to believe we're almost there.
And we'll see what the night brings. But if tomorrow we hear we're closer and we're almost to a deal, I think it'll be a little hard to take.
It will. You know what, Dana? It's going to be a little difficult. Now, she's not rejecting Trump outright. She's not saying he's a liar, but she is saying the credibility on how we are so close, we are just days away, is wearing very thin. So I think that this is a big deal. If MSNBC was saying, MS Now was saying this stuff, you would expect it. If CNN were saying it, even though the kind of context would be different, I think there's a lot of MAGAs who would go, it's CNN at the end of the day. If, Bernie Sanders or Hakeem Jeffries or whoever says it, all right, these are the people we expect to hear it from. This is 3 different Fox hosts in a 12-hour period. It's Jesse Waters, it's Laura Ingraham, and it's Dana Perino. They spent years defending Trump. The reason that they're doing this is obvious. You've got reality here, and here's their narrative all floppy. And in comes reality and smashes their narrative that the master negotiator, anti-war president has almost got us out of another war. A ceasefire is announced and missiles continue flying. Oh, so what happened? Well, we've gotten a breakthrough. Okay, yeah, but they're still firing at us and we're firing at them. And then the fighting escalates. And then we've got another peace deal near. And notice how mild these questions are from the Fox host. Nobody has the willingness, and they probably don't believe, that Trump is deliberately misleading people, that he's lying. Nobody's saying that. They're not saying the strategy has failed, but they're kind of going, I'm a little confused. Like, wait a second. We already heard this 9, 15, 20 times. The deal was going to be done in March and then in April and then in May, and we're almost in mid-June. Wasn't victory declared? How are we still fighting and waiting for a deal if victory was declared? Wasn't the ceasefire announced? These are dangerous questions because they are more coming from like a I'm disappointed rather than I'm angry. And sometimes the disappointment is sort of more devastating than the anger would be, and it can be harder to overcome as well. Once supporters start wondering, can I even trust the timeline? Then they go, well, can I trust the messenger? And of course, the answer is no. So the people who usually are part of selling the story don't seem to believe the story anymore. Your allies are saying, we've heard this before. I don't even think at this point it's about Trump convincing his critics. He increasingly needs to convince his supporters that they are going to be able to do this thing. And I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.